It really is a treat to be with y'all tonight. Open wide and taste the light falling from the stars tonight. This cannot be quantified. Open wide and taste the light. Lay your cheek against the song. Let it hold you firm and strong, ringing like a carillon. Lay your cheek against the song. Feel the heartbeat of the drum. Long ago this was begun. We are old who once were young. Feel the heartbeat of the drum. Drink the notes like drops of wine. Warming spirit, slowing time, winding like an arbor vine. Drink the notes like drops of wine. Standing in the circle here, kindred spirits gathered near. On my cheek a sacred tear. Standing in the circle here, open wide and taste the light falling from the stars tonight. This cannot be quantified. Open wide and taste the light. So I couldn't help but think while I was singing that line about standing in this circle here, kindred spirits gathered near. Here we are standing in this huge circle across continents, really around the planet tonight. seen a couple friends on from very far away. And that is pretty magical, you know? I just got back from a week at the beach with my family, taking a little vacation after a very long time of not taking a vacation at all, and we just went down to the house that my wife grew up in, just a few blocks from the ocean in Surfside Beach, South Carolina. The house was originally about 25 by 25, and it's not much bigger than that now. My mother-in-law, who we lost a few years ago, bought that house for $6,000 in 1964. And now it's a few blocks from the ocean, and as the conversation has turned serious today, talking about climate change, we had to shake our heads and wonder when it would become oceanfront. I grew up down in Sarasota, Florida, on the Gulf Coast of Florida, and they do this wild thing down there. They put huge hotels right on the edge of the ocean, on the sand. And we've been getting advice about building stuff on sand for at least a couple thousand years, right? But people seem to keep doing it, and that's what I thought I was going to write a song about when I started writing this song many years ago. But when I got to writing about water, I found that water kind of wanted to be written about from a bunch of different angles. So the song is about water from a bunch of different angles. And I call it Water. It just seemed to be the thing to do. And the chorus says the water is gonna win. And I always get notes from people whenever there's a big catastrophe where the water wins in a big way. And it kind of breaks my heart, you know. But this is what we're facing tonight, and that's what... There was a message this afternoon about wisdom from Dr. Moo, and I was moved by it. I appreciated what he was saying there in terms of facing things that are hard. You know, that's kind of one of the definitions of wisdom. Gathering information from people who are quite knowledgeable about these things and willing to teach us about it. But I guess where I land is kind of acknowledging that in the children's game rock, paper, scissors, water is not an option. And there's a reason for that, because water always wins. So they built this shiny hotel where the water meets the land. They smiled a little nervously as the ocean took the sand. They went down below the shoreline and they hauled it back again. But the heavy rain and the hurricane and the water's gonna win, the water's gonna win. You can bring it all back, it will wash away again. The water's gonna win, pack it up or pack it in, yeah. The water's gonna win. The glass of water you were sipping as you watched the morning come has quenched the thirst of 7 others underneath a younger sun. We are memories and moments. We are born and born again. We are rushing stream and breathing steam, and the water's gonna win. Water's gonna win. Ascending and falling and rising up again. Water's gonna win. Ride the tide, ride the wind. Haul the rocks, sign the papers, and Pour another glass of gin, cut the ribbon with the scissors, but the water's gonna win. Hey, glass of water you were sipping as you watched the morning come has quenched the thirst of 7 others underneath a younger sun. We are memories and moments. We are born and born again. We are rushing stream and breathing steam, and the water's gonna win. Water's gonna win. You can't hold back the tide. You can't hide from what's within. The water's gonna win. Feel it flow beneath your skin. The water's gonna win. It will keep flowing through all we are and all we've been. The water's gonna win forever and amen. The water's gonna win. And play a different guitar here. Since there are a lot of Presbyterians in the proverbial house, I'll play a Montreat song here. Wrote this one many years ago about this town that has kind of become home to me. I'm sort of the kid who went to camp. You know how by the end of camp, most kids don't want to come home? I'm kind of the kid who didn't. I just stayed. And it's been a good home for me for a lot of years. I really do love this part of the country. I now live in Black Mountain, which is just, my house is about 3 miles from the Montreat post office. Before it was called Black Mountain, the town of Black Mountain used to be called Gray Eagle. That was the Cherokee name for this region. And I guess it's where my roots go deepest, though they certainly don't go as deep as Cherokee folk. But my granddad bought a place here in 1939 for $1,700, still in the family, up on Montreat Road. And a few years back when I lost them, quite a few years back now, when I found myself writing about them, I found myself writing about that old house. They were people of place. So this song's called Gray Eagle. Well, I've got some pictures, just some old black and whites. Everything was so simple. Or maybe I romanticize, but it still makes me smile, looking back on those days when black and white fade to gray. And the gray eagle flies, and I'm riding along to the land of my father's father, singing the song my grandmother used to sing, about a bushel and a peck and a hug around the neck, and I'm home. Now there's a sidewalk where the path used to be, where we planted a sapling. I can climb in the tree, I find I stand taller, with my feet on the land that my grandfather worked with his hands. And the gray eagle flies, and I'm riding along to the land of my father's father. I'm singing the song my grandmother used to sing, about a bushel and a peck and a hug around the neck, and I'm home. Once in a while I like to stop by and make sure that the place looks okay. I stand on the steps with a tear in my eye, and I'm wishing that I could just stay. So I'll take a few pictures with my dad's 35 of my grandparents' home, where they lived most of their lives, and a few in the garden where their roses still grow, and I'm hoping that somehow they know. And the gray eagle flies, and I'm riding along to the land of my father's father, singing the song my grandmother used to sing, about a bushel and a peck and a hug around the neck, and I'm home, finally home, and I'm home, home, home. I'm really hoping y'all can hear the crickets. I opened the window a little while ago because it's a little warm in here with my fancy stage lights on, and there was just something really nice about the crickets on the end of that song there. So I hope y'all are getting that. In fact, I'm going to just check in on the chat. I try to turn the chat off when I'm playing music for people so I don't get all distracted, because I'm so easily distracted at the best of times. But it looks like we're good, and the crowd goes wild. Right on. Okay. Awesome. Well, I want to play you a newer song. I'm going back in the studio in November. I've booked the time to make a new album. Super excited about it. If you want to know more about it, go to my website and hit the mailing list there, and I'll drop you a note when we get to getting ready to make that record. Keep you posted on all that. Let's see here. Go back to this guitar. I'll go back to this guitar. It's kind of funny. It's funny to me that a Zoom concert is actually less technical in some ways than a real concert on stage, because normally I play through a bunch of pedals and guitar things and stuff like that, and on a Zoom concert I use one microphone, this one right here, so I don't even have a tuner. I'm just like tuning old school with my ears. It's a song that'll be on the next record, I believe. That's it was inspired by a blue heron in a Mary Oliver poem, and also a blue heron at the little pond that we call a lake, that's just about 3 blocks down from my house, Lake Tomahawk. There's something magical about blue herons. I have met blue herons at points in my life that I will remember for the rest of my life. There was this one that used to come and watch the sunrise every morning at the same spot in Sarasota, Florida, and well, it's another whole long story, but I used to go sit and watch the sunrise with that blue heron. This song's called Here and Gone. Brushstroke blue heron glides graceful and low. Negative space on the cool morning gray. Turn of a feather and up she will go. Fade in the fog and then fly far away. I'm standing watching alone on the shore, holding the taste of her grace on my tongue. Savor the moment, just one moment more. Memory and mist will burn off with the day. Memory and mist will burn off with the day. Gone, not gone into nothing, but gone into everything. Gone, but here with me now, like the memories of all I have seen. Here and gone. Brown as the winter grass, hollow as reed, quiet as morning recedes into day, fractured by gentleness, captured and freed, painting a picture with no words to say. Gone, not gone into nothing, but gone into everything. Gone, but here with me now, like the memories of all I have been. Here and gone, here and gone. All of the magic and all of the mystery, all in the smallest of things. All of a sudden it shatters my soul, then it's gone like a bird on the wing. Yes, it's gone like a bird on the wing. I can remember your skin on my skin, safe in my arms and the warmth of my home, bound to another as I'd never been, breathing our promises solid as stone. Gone, not gone into nothing, but gone into everything. Gone, but here with me now, like the memories of all I have seen, like the memories of all I have been. Here and gone. There's a song from the next record. Let's see. Rich, I'm pointedly ignoring you. Yeah. Oh, let's see. I want to play this one. Well, I got this guitar. So I told you I've just come from a week at the beach with my family, and I spent more time in the actual ocean this week than I've ever spent, I think, in any week of my life. You know, I go to the beach from time to time. I grew up at a beach town, and we would go to the beach, but we wouldn't be in the water for very long, generally, just hang around on the sand and read and stuff. And that's delightful, good living. But this week, me and Deanna and Mason got out past the breakers and just floated there and let the big waves, the swells, just lift us. I felt so supported, and I couldn't help but think theologically in that moment about being held and supported and lifted. But this is a song I wrote in Australia when Mason was a very small child. It's called Staring. My friend Anne said to me one time, there are three things I can stare at forever: an ocean, fire, and a baby's face. I could stare at the ocean forever and never get bored, till the waves take me over, my feet melting into the shore. Till I cannot remember the things I once feared anymore. I could stare at the ocean forever and never get bored. I could stare at a fire forever and never notice the time. Well, that lyric just went away on me. Let's see what it is. Never notice the time. Anybody got that lyric? I'm gonna just try again and see if it comes. I could stare at the ocean forever, never notice the time, the fire. Oh yeah, got it. As the wood turns to flame and reclaims its old place in the sky, I look to the shapes in the embers for omens and signs. I could stare at a fire forever and never notice the time. I can kick up this bottle of daybreak, drink it down until I overflow. Still the sun can shoot by like a comet. I can look down and miss the whole show. I could stare at this child's face forever and never grow tired, till I cannot remember the feeling of being uninspired. The light draws the contours of laughter and hunger and fire. I could stare at this child's face forever, never grow tired. I can kick up this bottle of daybreak, drink it down until I overflow. Still the sun can shoot by like a comet. I can look down and miss the whole show. Well, I'm so happy to be playing songs for y'all. Thank you for tuning in to listen. It's such a joyful part of my life, and I'm not getting to do as much of it these days. Excuse me, for the last year and a half or so. And it's exciting to have a bunch of stuff on the calendar for this fall. Of course, all of that is pending what happens with Delta. Not the airline, but the variant of coronavirus. So hope y'all are making judicious decisions and being super careful and vaccinated. I've lost 7 people that I care about. And yeah, it's just a very serious thing. So blessings on all of us as we navigate it. So I thought I'd dust off a really old song. It's another Montreat song, actually. This one, I referred to this cottage earlier that my grandparents bought in the 30s. And this song actually was inspired by something that happened on the porch of that cottage when I was very, very small, talking to my uncle. And he was sitting there in a rocking chair just staring at the mountains. And as a very small child, that seemed like a really weird thing to do to me. Like, you could be playing with blocks or something. Why would you just sit in a rocking chair and stare at a mountain? So I asked him what he was doing, and he, with a little twinkle in his eye, he said, "Well, you see that mountain right there?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I'm keeping an eye on that mountain because if you look away, they'll move." When I was a child, I'd find my uncle just sitting in his old rocking chair. For hours and hours, to me seemed like days. Well, I'd see him just sitting there. Oh man, this is a really old song. So the album that this came out on just came out on cassette. It was called Barefoot. It came out in January of 1991. Let me try again. I think I got this. When I was a child, I'd find my uncle just sitting in his old rocking chair. For hours and hours, to me seemed like days. Well, I'd see him just sitting there. If I asked him what he was doing, well, he'd smile at me and say, "David, I'm watching that mountain, 'cause it's gonna move someday. David, I'm watching that mountain, yes, 'cause it's gonna move someday." Well, my uncle kept that mountain from moving, 'cause the mountain knew he would see. He said, "David, you know it's a hard job, but I reckon it's up to me. The mountain doesn't want us people to know that she dances late at night. But someday I'm gonna see her, and I reckon my uncle was right." He said, "Someday I'm gonna see her, yes, and I reckon my uncle was right." Faith to move mountains, yes, and hope to keep them there. And love for the creatures that call her home, and love for the trees and the air. There's one thing about a mountain, you shouldn't move her if she don't want to go. But my uncle would cry to see her today, and the men trying to lay her low. This time we can't just watch her, it's a problem we can't ignore. 'Cause if we don't fight for the mountains, then the mountains will dance no more. I said, if we don't fight for the mountains, then the mountains will dance no more. So we gotta have faith to move mountains and hope to keep them there. And love for the creatures that call her home, and love for the trees and the air. Faith to move mountains, yes, and hope to keep them there. Love for the creatures that call her home, and love for the trees and the air. All right, y'all, I'm switching it up. I'm going with a different camera angle because my little camera just overheated. My apologies. That problem is on my end. Here we go. So it's not quite as fancy of a picture, but by golly, it looks like me. We'll go with that. Sorry about that. Um, yeah, so hey, I'm still here. Hope you're well. Let's see what's going on. I plan to play you. Oh, let's see. I was thinking I might play you. How's the time going? Wow. Time goes so fast. Amazing. Well, I'll play you a few more songs anyway. By the clock, we've got time for a couple more, but clock schmock. We'll do a few more than that. I know which one I want to play. I want to play another newer song, and it's funny. A couple of months ago, I felt like this was a song about kind of where we are as a country, because I felt like we were kind of coming out of the pandemic, and of course, as hard as it is on all of our spirits, and harder for some than others, that's not the case here in the States. And of course, in other places, it's a whole entirely different story. I was talking with some folks in Oman about 3 weeks ago, and they're having their first major peak now, and it's very serious. But I'll play you this song tonight, not so much as a description of where we are, but maybe aspirationally of where we might be soon. I think it's important to hold some positive images in our heads. Sometimes when I'm really focused on activism, I fall into a pretty toxic mindset, which has to do with like it being a bad thing to be joyful because things are so serious and dire. Things are serious and dire, but the fuel for our activism is joy. I really believe. I think we've got to have that in order to do the work. So I think we ought to embrace it joyfully and enthusiastically when we can conjure it. So my family moved in November, and I don't think I've ever moved to a house where I'd never seen the yard in bloom before. We moved right in the middle of the winter, kind of toward the beginning of the winter, and so I had no idea what the yard looked like. And when the springtime came around, it was amazing watching things come up out of the ground that I didn't know were there, and they're at my house. Although I think it kind of takes a turning of the seasons to feel like you live somewhere entirely. So this is pretty much a true story. When we moved here in the winter, Everything was dry and brown. Never saw the place in summer. No idea what's in the ground. Barren dogwood in the front yard. I wasn't sure if it was gone. Then about the 1st of April, I saw what was going on. Coming alive again. Coming alive. Coming alive again. Coming alive. If I really love somebody, I used to say that we were close. It's kind of strange to show compassion through this distance that we chose. But we hid out in our houses till the medicine arrived. Now the buds have turned to blossom. We're stepping to the other side. Coming alive again. Coming alive. Coming alive again. Coming alive. It's been a long and lonely winter. It's been a long and lonely year. It's gonna take a while to understand, but some things are coming clear. In the distant days of childhood, there was a story that I heard about how dying's part of living, but it's not the final word. So the leaves that fell in autumn turn to flowers in the spring, and the sorrow of our losses turns to songs that we can sing. Coming alive again. Coming alive. Coming alive again. Coming alive. Coming alive again. Coming alive. All right. Well, y'all, I think, let's see, I'm going to play you, I'm going to play you a couple more songs, and we'll call that the evening. I could play a long time, and I really love playing music, but, you know, it's good form to, well, again, Dr. Moo was talking earlier to stop eating before you're full. It's a good thing. I'm going to sing you a song I didn't write. Dino Valenti wrote this one, otherwise known as Chet Powers. I don't know about you, but sometimes I go back and I listen to songs from my youth that I thought were awesome back then, and I listened to them, and I actually make the mistake of listening to the words, and I'm like, they didn't quite hold up quite the way I remember it. And then there are other songs when you go back and you listen to the words and you find that there were gems there that you didn't even catch the first time. And this is one of those songs for me. There's important ideas in these lyrics, I think. Simple, but important. I really appreciate y'all taking this time with me tonight. I hope you found some nourishment in it somewhere. If you want to stay in touch, if you want to pick up any of my music or whatever, you can do that at my website. That's the best place, not Amazon. But if you want to pick up some music, you can do that at davidlamotte.com. And if you can also amazingly just tell your phone, play David LaMotte, and it will. That doesn't do me a whole lot of good, except that I'm very happy for you to listen to the music, so that's good. I want to read people's comments, but then I'm going to get totally distracted. It's going to take another 10 minutes. So I'm not going to read right now. I'll just sing you this song. Love is but a song we sing. Fear's the way we die. You can make the mountains ring, but make the angels cry. Though the bird is on the wing, you may not know why. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love. Whoa, now what's happening? Come on, people now. Why can I not play this song? This is a song I've played many times. I gotta figure this out. I cannot believe this is not a hard song. I don't know what's going on. But, you know, I'm a little rusty. I haven't been playing so many shows. I'm sorry about that. Let me see if I can figure this out. Come on, people now. E. That an E doesn't belong in there. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody. Here it is. Okay, let's try again. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Some may come and some may go, and you will surely pass. When the one that left us here returns for us at last, we are but a moment's sunlight fading in the grass. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. If you hear the song we sing, then you will understand. You hold the key to love and fear in your trembling hand. Just one key unlocks them both, it's there at your command. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Okay, I just want to hold up those lyrics. Now that I've remembered the chords, I can think about the words again. If you hear the song we sing, you will understand. You hold the key to love and fear in your trembling hand. It's just one key unlocks them both, and it's there at your command. Those are simple ideas, but they are powerful ideas. It's the same key to love and fear. The thing is that fear isn't necessarily a bad thing in reasonable doses. There are things that are legitimate to be afraid of. But if we live there, I mean, it's an important place to visit. It's like anger. It's an important place to visit. It's a terrible place to live. Because fear can only motivate you for so long. And I think fear eventually leads to despair if we stay there too long. And despair leads to inaction, and inaction leads nowhere good. But love and hope, if we can keep choosing them, not because of how we feel, but in spite of how we feel sometimes, if we can keep choosing love and hope anytime we can, which is not every day for any of us, but that can lead to action. And action can lead to unpredictable places, right? It doesn't mean that when we take action, everything's always going to work out great. We know that that's not true. But there's possibility in taking action. When it comes to environmental issues, I'm weighted down sometimes with the enormity of the issues and my own smallness. But I'm weighted down by that because I continue to buy into this mythology that we have as a culture about how you fix big problems. Even though I wrote a whole book about how it's false, I'm still not out of its clutches. This silly meta-narrative about how when you have a big problem, what you need to fix it is for a hero, somebody extraordinary, somebody different from you, somebody special to come and do something dramatic in a moment of crisis. And then you roll the credits because you fixed the problem. And that's such a lovely, neat story. And it's not ever how the world has worked in the history of the world. When you're talking about big problems, it's just not how it happens. Heroes don't fix big problems. Heroes sometimes can inspire movements, and movements can have a big impact on big problems. But movements are made up of a bunch of people doing a little bit each. So it doesn't matter how small I am and how big the problems are. That's not the point. The point is, or the question I want to wrestle with is not can I fix it, but can I do any better than I'm doing right now? Can we do any better than we're doing right now? And I think we can if we make the effort and if we hold on to hope. My favorite words about hope are right there behind me on the wall. I don't know if they're backwards or forwards for you, but they're from Václav Havel. He said, hope is not prognostication, it is an orientation of the spirit. It's not about what we think is going to happen, what we think is possible. It's about where we point our lives, sometimes in spite of how we feel and not because of how we feel. Hope is not a feeling, it's a choice. And again, we can't always make that choice. Not every day. We don't always have that capacity. And some of us are carrying so many burdens and so many obstacles to that hope. But I want to choose it on all the days that I can. I think it's the way forward. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Hey, let's make the lyric better. Come on, people now, smile on each other, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Right now, right now, right now, right now, right now, right now. I went all Arlo Guthrie on you for a minute there, didn't I? I quit my singing and went to preaching. This is not a song that I normally end with, but it seems like the one tonight. I'm going to go with it. If you want to stay in touch, please do. There are various ways to do it. You can follow me on Facebook. They've cut me off on friends, so I can't accept your friend request, but you can go and click follow there if you want. Go to my website, davidlamotte.com, and you can hit the mailing list there, and I'll drop you an email every couple months or so. I'm not very persistent with that most of the time. I won't junk up your mailbox much unless there's something really exciting going on. And if you really want to stay in touch, I've got this beautiful digital community that serendipitously I started 4 months before the pandemic, having no idea that the pandemic was coming. And this incredible group of 269 people as of this morning really kept me afloat during the pandemic in every way, emotionally and spiritually and financially and every other way. You can subscribe there for any amount you want, and everybody gets the same thing no matter what amount you choose. From $1 on up, $1 a month. So that's $12 a year. It's less than a CD costs. And I send people a song every Monday just to start the week off in a way that feels authentic or encouraging or something. That's called Patreon, patreon.com. If you go to my website, you'll see a thing about it. But if you want to learn about that or be a part of it, you'd sure be welcome. And tonight, normally if I do a digital concert, normally I have a little tip jar that I put out, a digital tip jar where people can leave a tip. But tonight, if you feel like leaving a tip, thank you. And what I'd like for you to do is leave it for Presbyterians for Earth Care, because they're doing important, good work, my friends there. And so there's a link in the chat there. It's farther on up, but I bet it's going to magically appear again in just a moment. Look at that. Perfect. It's a long road, y'all. We can't pretend that this isn't a very serious situation. It's a tremendously serious situation. And it's not way off in the future anymore. It's happening right now. Tomorrow, we're supposed to get a big report. And the early indications rather, are that it's not good news. That won't surprise any of us who are paying attention. But remember, please, and remind me that hope is not prognostication, it's an orientation of the spirit. And the question isn't, can we fix it? The question is, can we do any better than we're doing right now? It should not be dinging at us while I'm singing you songs. So here's the last song for the evening. It's really been a pleasure to be with you. Please keep in touch. We'll see y'all soon. The water is white. Can't cross or neither have I wings to fly. Build me a boat that can carry two, and both shall row, my love and I. There is a ship, she sails the sea, she's loaded deep, as deep can be, but not so deep as the love I'm in. I know not how I sink or swim. Oh, love is handsome, and love is fine. The sweetest flower, first it's new, but love grows old, waxes cold, and fades away like summer dew. Though I may speak with tongues of fire and have the gift to all inspire, and have not love, my words are vain as sounding brass, and hopeless gain. And the water is wide, yeah, I can't cross over, neither have I the wings to fly. Build me a boat that can carry two, and both shall row, and both shall row, both shall row, my love and I. Thank you all so much. Grace and peace to you and blessings. It's been an honor to spend some time with you. Be strong, be courageous in the work. We got a lot of work to do. I'm glad we've got each other. Y'all take care of yourselves and each other, and I will look forward to catching you real soon.